Hey everybody, it's Robert here with SB Sculpting, and we are back with another episode of Cooking Creations by Ali. And for this episode, we'll be talking about Thanksgiving side dishes. Now, I know everybody's getting prepared for their menus for Thanksgiving, but did you know you can make these menus with less time, they taste healthy, and taste great all at the same time? So without further ado, to get this kicked off, I'm bringing in Ali to get us started.
Thank you so much for having me, Robert.
Of course. So can you tell us what we have going on here?
Yes, so I'm going to be preparing 3 dishes for my cookbook today. For the first dish, I'll be preparing a baby kale pepper medley, smoky pepper medley. For my second dish, I'll be preparing a corn smoke medley. Okay. And then for my third dish, I'll be preparing a roasted spiced sweet potatoes. So I thought I would start out here with my baby kale.
Let's make it happen.
Okay, great. Okay, so I'm going to start with my pan. I made my pan hot. I turned it to high heat, and then I turned it down to about a medium high heat. And I'm just letting that heat up, and I want to allow it to get to the smoke point, which means that I'm going to add a little bit of my olive oil, which was considered one of our healthy oils, because we're talking about healthy dishes today. And then once you see smoke rise, then I'm going to add my onions to it. And do you know why I'm adding my onions first to the dish?
No, why is that?
It's because we want to put everything in a certain order. So the onions will take the longest to cook out of all of our dishes. And so we want to basically, while I allow this to come to a smoke point, talk a little bit about our onions. So we want our onions to become translucent so that the natural flavors are released and come out of the onion. We want them to be nicely cooked down and even slightly caramelized as well. Okay, so I'll add my chopped onions here. Okay, and just be careful when adding it to your pan, because we don't want anyone to get splattered with oil, and so just be careful. I'm going to kind of keep it far away. Okay, something like that. What was your question?
No, I was saying it got pretty close.
Yeah, it sure did. I'm actually going to take it off for just a minute. It's extra sizzly. Turn it down a little bit. Okay, there we go. All right, so now I'm going to allow this to become slightly translucent here. So do you see how it's actually starting to change color a little bit? So it's turning a little bit iridescent, translucent.
Okay.
Okay, now I'm going to add my peppers to the dish. Do you smell that nice aroma? And you can add your favorite garlic, your favorite spices. The thing that I love about my recipes is that you can switch it up, and it's kind of like a no-fail recipe. Here is a little bit of a chili powder. Okay. Feel free to make it smoky and add a smoked paprika, a chipotle powder. There are so many different options of spices that you can use here. Okay, I'm going to add a little bit of salt and pepper, fresh from the pepper grinder. And the final item that I'm going to add is my baby kale here. Yeah, I'm actually going to cook it, so you can actually have raw or cooked kale. Okay. So today we're going to cook it. It's going to be our nice green side dish here. Okay, it looks nice and beautiful. We're going to allow it to cook down, and we don't want to cook it down too much, and we don't want to burn it. So I'm going to turn down my heat a little bit and just let it do its thing. Toss it together with our other vegetables. And this is so beautiful and nutritious. It's considered in the dark green leafy family, which is so good for you.
What's the difference between the dark green and just like regular lettuce or things of that nature?
So I would say the dark green vegetables contain many more vitamins and iron, and some of your lighter lettuces, such as an iceberg, for example, it contains water, and it does, it's healthy, but it just does not have as much nutritional value as, let's say, your dark leafy green vegetables, which contains many vitamins, nutrients, iron, and so on and so forth.
Mind if I toss it around a little bit?
Sure, go for it. Right. Do you have any other questions about this baby kale medley?
Oh no, I'm just having fun doing this right now.
Okay. So medley, feel free to actually use adult kale or baby kale, depending on what you can find at your local farmer's market, what's in season during the time, and what may be available. The adult kale has a little bit of a stronger flavor, whereas the baby kale has a little bit more of a mild flavor, such as a baby spinach. You know, that's a little bit more mild tasting, or some of your baby lettuces.
Okay.
Hey, that looks beautiful. Well, that's our finished product. Now, I'm just going to place it right here on our board, and then we're going to move on to our next dish, which will be our smoky charred corn and peppers.
I did a good about, what, 25-30%?
You did a great job. Great job, Robert. Okay, I'm going to allow this to heat up. Do the same idea. Okay, actually it is pretty hot, so we'll go ahead and add our oil here. Okay. Allow that to get to a nice smoke point. And now there's many different types of corn that you can use. Now I prefer an organic corn, a non-GMO organic type corn. Okay. And I love caramelizing or charring the corn because the natural sweetness actually comes out of it. And so that's my preferred flavor. Okay. And then I enjoy adding my spices, and we're going to add our onion again. And let's be careful again because we don't want anyone to get splattered. I've been splattered before a few times in my cooking lifetime. So I've been splattered on the eyelid, and it's not too fun. So just be cautious, be careful. We're going to allow this to become translucent again. Okay, and then from there you see how the smoke is kind of rising and how it's sizzling. Okay. Yeah, so it's nice and hot. We're going to add our peppers to the dish because this is, again, in a certain kind of order of what will take the longest until what will take the least amount of time to cook. Okay, so we're going to allow this to go for just a minute, and then I'm going to add some of my spices to it.
Now, question, you mentioned, this is the second time you said caramelize. Now, this is actually, believe it or not, my first time hearing about it. Can we explain to everybody exactly what caramelizing is? Yes, so when you caramelize a vegetable such as an onion or corn, you're basically putting it on, you're cooking it on a higher heat until it becomes nice and brown. Okay. Browned or charred, the natural sweetness comes out of it. So you'll see right now the corn is just yellow colored, and then once we allow it to become a little bit charred or caramelized, the color will turn slightly darker. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to add this now, and you'll see what this is going to look like. I've got a finished product here. Okay. And would you like to try tossing it around a little bit? Okay. Great. These people is all the technique. You gotta put your wrist, it's all in the wrist. Yes, it sure is. And what you basically want to do is, you see how Robert is standing? So Robert is right-handed, so he's holding the tongs in his right hand, and then he's holding the pan for control, holding the handle of the pan with his left hand. So this is what you would do for proper alignment, so that you can effectively and efficiently cook properly. Hey, do you have any questions about proper alignment or cooking tools at all? No, I've actually got everything down so far. Okay, I'm going to turn it up. Okay, you turned it up. It's ready to go here. We're just going to let this sit for just a minute, a couple minutes, and while we do that, we're going to talk about our sweet potatoes. Let's do it. Okay, so now for the spiced sweet potatoes, this is one of my very favorite dishes. What we're going to do is I chopped up sweet potatoes. I'm going to add some beautiful herbs to this. You can add parsley or chives or whatever your favorite herb is. Okay. Here I have some cinnamon. Oh, yeah. And yes, to go with those nice fall flavors. Some chili powder. Feel free to add nutmeg or allspice or pumpkin powder. Usually I want to go a little bit basic, not be too exotic for some of the cooking classes, but feel free to jazz it up and add whatever you would like. Okay, and then I'm going to, of course, add the oil so that everything adheres together. And did you notice that I didn't really add very much oil to all of my dishes? You really don't need very much oil. Okay.
and it comes out just fine. I mean, it comes out light and not heavy, and just a little bit of oil is nice just to stick to it, adhere to our spices.
Now, if you're making this stuff for big groups, do you obviously take the time to do a certain amount of measurement for how much you pour in there? Or you just go off of what you know.
Yeah, so what I'll do is I'll just, I sometimes eyeball things because I've been doing this, for 15 years, but I would say that if you're going to follow the recipe out of my cookbook, you can specifically measure everything out. I measured everything kind of ahead of time and added it to one of my ramekins, but I would say you can add specific measurements with your appropriate spoons and cups measurements.
Sounds good.
Okay, so how's the corn looking? Do you see it starting to change color a little bit?
Oh yeah, I did it.
Okay. Would you like to try tossing it one more time?
Sure.
Okay. Okay, so here we have our sweet potatoes done, and actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my fresh citrus to this. I love adding fresh citrus. So either fresh lime or fresh lemon. My recipe calls for actually fresh lime, and you can feel free to add any citrus to any vegetable in my cookbook, or any vegetable for the holidays in any of these dishes, depending on what flavor profile that you want to go for.
Okay.
Okay, it looks like the corn is ready. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll place it on our platter here. Now for the corn, feel free to allow the corn to cook longer and be a little bit more charred or less charred, just kind of depending on what your preference is, I guess you can say.
Right.
Okay, here's our corn, and then what you can do is you can feel free to garnish it with anything that you would like, or just leave it at it as is. Feel free to add some fresh cilantro to it if you want, fresh parsley or chives.
Okay.
There's so much you can do with it. You can alter the recipes to fit your personal preferences.
Right.
Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out of the oven the sweet potatoes. So I showed you the before sweet potatoes, and now I placed it in the oven on 450 degrees for about a half an hour, then broiled it for 1 minute on the top element of the oven. Okay, I'm going to remove it from the oven here. And here is our, thank you, Robert, our finished sweet potatoes. And now I'm going to do the same thing and place it on our nice platter here. Okay.
Oh, that looks good. Oh, man.
I know, it's so healthy. And I personally think it tastes just as good as your kind of, traditional sweet potato and marshmallow casserole that contains brown sugar and butter, and this is really just, it still has the same flavors, but it's a little bit lighter. We have no sugar in any of these dishes. We have all fresh spices. We have some fresh vegetables, and so this is just simple and healthy, and this didn't take very long.
No, it didn't.
Would you feel comfortable preparing this on your own at home? I
would, and I can barely boil water.
Yeah,
so
great.
Really
so you could follow it easily in the cookbook then? And,
that'd be great.
Yeah,
awesome.
Okay.
Now my biggest question though is, can we try a little bit of this?
Absolutely.
Sounds
yeah,
good.
Definitely.
Do you have any fork anywhere? I would love to try it.
Oh, yes, of course. Always.
Alright, so I'm going to try the sweet potatoes first. They're just like a regular one. That's good.
You like it? And
yeah.
and do you taste the spices in them?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Definitely the cinnamon.
Nice
I definitely
ball.
taste the cinnamon. You didn't even put that much in there.
Mm-hmm.
No,
So the spices go a really long way.
Mm-hmm.
You don't really need very much of those kind of fall spices are a little bit stronger or more potent. So yeah.
Great. I tried the other one, put my mouth on the fork, so I'll wait a minute and try the rest of it later. So.
Oh sure, and I can give you more forks. Okay. Either way, go.
So there you go. Simple and healthy tips, and they're all didn't take that much time. They were healthy and less time, not very time consuming at all. So it was great. Everything you need for it. Now to get these, you can look at Alex's cookbook, Seasonal Farmers Market's Favorites. And to get this book, check it out on Amazon. And there you go. Please stay tuned for future episodes and have a good holidays and Thanksgiving. There, now with the fork.